Alright. Namaskaram, this is YunusPK, and in this video, this is a very random video. It's just my development flow. So right now I'm just working on one of my personal projects, and this is actually my personal website. So it's a personal project and a personal website. So this is what the website kinda looks like. Okay. Alright. So this is what it looks like, kinda. So previously I had another website that's pretty sinful, I would say. YunusPK.com. If you go, you're gonna see this website. So this is something that I have built in 2020. So it's kind of like that. We got some nice hover effects, and we got a store as well, and then we got a YouTube setup, we got a development setup, we got a graphics designer who is right now don't know anything about graphics designing at all. Now there's lots of things here. I just stuffed it so much, and then you got some projects over here. If you view more button, and this is completely static website. This is not a dynamic website. This is just HTML and CSS, and I know this sucks, but alright. So this is the website. This is something that I have built in 2020, and now I'm just rebuilding that thing, and that's right now I have designed this so far to the project section. After the projects, there will be achievements, academics, playlists. Playlist gonna be simply Spotify playlist, because I'm pretty good at collecting music and all that. And if someone likes my test, then they can also test my test. And then there will be a contacts section. So all of these things gonna be a section below. And also, if you go to these more buttons below every section, that will take you to a completely new page, which gonna be opened from these buttons as well. So these buttons gonna open up new pages, not to this section. And if you scroll, you're gonna go to this section, and then you can click on more button, and that more button will actually take you to that page. Let me just show you that thing. So this is the project. So like this is the built version. So I have already built it so far, and this thing is going on. Up to this point, it's almost responsive. The nav bar is not responsive yet, and this section has to. This is under development, and this section, so this is definitely not responsive. If you go to this, okay, first of all, let's see. Look at the URL bar here. It's your localhost 3000. If I go to about, it just changes to /about, and we got to the about page. And then blogs, projects, achievements, academics, playlists, and contact. If you go to home, and this about section in the home page or landing page, in the more button, if I click, we go to about page. And in the blog section, if I go to this more button, and if I click, we go to the blogs page. And also the scroll, the vertical scroll actually reaches on the top, so that we can see the nav bar. So you go to home again, and here's the project section, which I'm currently working on. The design, this design is also on my tablet, which is in front of me. So I'm just looking at that design again and again, and the result on this website running in the localhost is also on my smartphone. So I'm seeing the original result in the smartphone and the design in the tablet, and working in this computer. So what I'm gonna right now do is, this is the project section. Project section means only this thing and not the projects page. So this is the project section, and inside that project section we got okay, so what I'm gonna right now do is, you see this div is transparent completely, this section, and this should have this color, so I'm gonna just put that color to that. So I just copied that color. Now I'm gonna find which div is responsible for that. So I see the main div below the h1, below the heading of projects, and this is the project section container. Project sec container here. This is the CSS which is responsible for this file. So project section container is over here. So simply I'm gonna go background color and I'm gonna paste that thing, and now we got it. I'm gonna make another thing that is okay. What about okay, let's put it margin bottom and 100 pixels, and that is completely just for this is okay. What I can do is I can do this just for develop, just for dev phase. Alright, so now we got 100 pixel gap over here so that we can see the thing properly. I'm gonna make it 200 pixels. Alright, now we can see it properly. Now we got this. If we click here, it actually changes. The date actually changes. That's pretty good. And if we click on that button, then okay, we cannot control click. We have to just click. So we are actually taken to delta like that name forward slash projects and then forward slash this name. Okay, I'm gonna back. If we go to row typify, these project names are really weird. Row typify, and if I click on the external button, it takes us to projects slash row typify. Those pages are not available right now. We can add it later on. So if I just it just goes to this thing. Okay, so I'm gonna go to home again, and alright, we got this. This looks pretty cool, I guess. Everything looks pretty good right now. I've removed the borders. Previously I had borders on everything so that I can view everything. Now I'm gonna put a border over here, and that would be this panel. This entire thing is a panel over here, and that is in the okay. So that is okay. That is mapping over here from the datas. So this div, you see project sec card container. This is the container. Okay, this is the container, like these individual cards that you see in these cards, and these cards are being mapped, and being mapped, it is being contained in a div, and that is, I guess, this div, render project list. Yeah, so projects card, project section card panel. So here we have project section card panel, and we're gonna make it not margin, border right, gonna be 1 pixel solid white. What happened? Okay, 1 pixel solid white, and okay, we do not need solid white. We're gonna have something else actually. So that not gonna be white, but what we're gonna take is hashtag. Let's have a look on A9, and okay, that's pretty cool, but I want here not to have this. So what I'm gonna do is, I guess we got a hover active thing. We got an active. Okay, we got an active style here. And this style object I'm gonna put. Not okay. Why am I gonna my margins? Margin. This is border right. Border right, and in the border right, if active project is equal to index, then the border right would be 1 pixel solid and whatever this color is, so that it can overlay that border. If not, then just no, none. Right, it didn't work actually. Why didn't work, man? Okay, what if we make the width 101% or something like that? 100 plus 1 pixel, 100% plus 1 pixel. That sounds good. So width gonna be calculate, okay, calculate 100% plus 1 pixel. Alright, this actually does the work. So I don't need this guy, but I need this one. Okay, alright, this makes the work. Okay, this gets the job done. That's pretty cool. That's actually cool, right? Yeah, alright. So this is pretty cool. Now, this thing is a function actually. So we cannot bring anything else than a markup here. So only the photos and a text, and we cannot put icons or anything like that. Everything has to be markup. So we cannot import anything over here, because this is essentially a function, just a function coming from a JSON. So if I show you that, so this thing, project section, is receiving this project's data, and that project data is passed here, project section, that is passed as projects data, and that projects data is defined over here, projects data, and the data is actually an array of objects, and that object has some properties like ID, which we didn't use yet, then title, path name. So why we have a title and a path name? Because the title sometimes can contain spaces, and also it can contain caps, but path name gonna be a simplified version of that title, which will don't have any spaces or any caps. Then we have subtitle. That subtitle is essentially this thing. I don't think if this is needed or not. This can be the introduction thing, which should be here. We can design this better as we go forward. Right now I do not know what kind of data I have to put over here, so that's why I have thought about many possibilities, and that's why we came across this object design. So after the subtitle, so this is entirely this thing till this line, so entire line, this is the subtitle, and this is starting with a backtick. And then we have a body. This body prop contains a function, and that function essentially just returns a div, and that div has some element, like something. So as you can see here, we cannot import anything here. It's just it's kind of like a component, but it's not a component. Come on, it's just a function, and that function returns some amount of JSX. I can return JSX directly, but I put it over here because maybe I can have some logics. That's why I just put a function. So yeah, this is the object design, and that object is being mapped over here. This thing is being mapped, and then this list is coming where the title and the subtitle is just used. And then when you click on any of these things, there is a state here, that is, this is a component state. So this state is like active project, and that active project contains just the ID, not the ID, the index of that project. So from this list, the index from this list. So if I click on that, the state is 0 now. If I click on that, the state is 1 now. So So then down here we have, in many places you would see this expression, that is projects data, which is essentially an array, then at the position of active project. So remember, active project is the state which has some index, so essentially it's 0. It can be 1 2 3 4, anything. So projects data, and then the active projects index dot body. So we got into that object, and then inside that object we got the body prop, which is a function. So we immediately just call that function out. So here, this div is that thing. And what is that div? That div is from here, after this line, starting from here to like, will contain this entire thing, entire panel. And here's the horizontal rule, and above that we have this big thing, and the big thing is just a div, like this complete thing, a div, and this div contains this heading and then this link. So that link is over here, that thing. Why that is inside a div? Because we got some class names to put on. Alright, welcome. This is my second recording of this video. So right now I'm gonna open up the Adobe XD, which I have on my tablet as well, but I'm gonna have it because sometimes I need the data, like the sizes, the colors and all that. Those are not visible. I mean visible, but those data are not extractable in the Android app of Adobe XD. That's just the preview. So I have a preview on my tablet. My phone is right now on charge, and I don't need to see the result on the phone because it's not responsive yet. I have to make it responsive. But yeah, okay. So I turned off the side panel. Everything is all right over here. So whatever you're seeing here, whatever you're seeing here, like this section, this image, this, and this, all of that gonna come as a HTML form or a JSX form in the JSON. And how will that be the case? Well, that to figure out, I took this entire day, not the entire day, like the last time I tried to do that, I failed, and then I slept, then I woke up, then I do all sorts of things in the daytime, and now in the night again. Here the night owl is here to code. So one of the things that I have done while I'm not recording was that I made that navbar fixed in that position, and because I made it fixed, the entire thing, everything went upwards 60 pixels. So I just increased the height of this intro section 60 pixels, so that to cover that thing up. And this navbar is now fixed on its position, and also that navbar is in the most bottom in the hierarchy in the app.js. Here is the navbar, so that it stays on top of everything, and nothing overlays that navbar. That's the thing I have done behind the recording. I would not say behind the camera because there is no camera over here. Okay, so now what I'm doing is, okay, so previously this thing, okay, not this thing, but this thing was a JavaScript in a JavaScript file, but now I moved it to a JSON file. The JavaScript file still exists. This is the JavaScript file. It's simply export const projects data, and that projects data is an array of objects, as you can see over here, and that contains the body contains a expression, JSX expression now. So previously it had a function, but I just removed that, and I just stored a expression because it's just pointless to send a function. And also when I'm using JSON to send data, it's becoming very difficult to send a function through JSON. I still didn't have figured it out how to send a function through JSON. I don't know if that's even possible or not. I think that's gonna be possible in some way, but the simple point is, if there's any logical function I need that can be on the back end, and then that just can send the result out. So whatever is inside the return statement, it can just send that thing, and the entire function does not have to travel through. Okay, so it's just the expression. And why it's on the expression, why not just some data fields? Because when I'm sending a expression and I'm having that option to send expressions and use that expression in this section, it's being so much editable, so much like I can do all sorts of things. I can create any type of thing inside this thing. I can use any kind of tag, any kind of this. On the other hand, if I just had a component that would take some data fields and create something here, that would be just some maybe text and some headings and some images and all that. But now, so that I'm just sending the HTML tags, I can do all sorts of things inside this place. So this place is like more controllable from outside the app now, and that's dangerous as well, but I'm gonna use my own server, so it's not dangerous. I mean, I'm not using any API, any third-party API. I'm definitely gonna build my own. So yeah, that is dangerous, but oh, come on, I trust myself. This was the JS file to store data, and now I have a JSON file which is currently named as archive, but this is the next commit that I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna change that name from archive to just projectdata.json. So here's the JSON. It's also an array of objects, and it does not have any name. If I'm gonna give it a name, then I have to wrap this entire thing again in an object, and that's just pointless because I can name it anything I want when I import it. And another thing is that when I have multiple datas, then an object makes sense, but when I have just one array, it doesn't make sense to wrap it up with another object. So that's why it's just an array of objects and does not have any name, and that name I can use like anything. Here I have imported this as projects data from data projects data.archive.json. Okay, so I'm going to remove this guy over here that I just commented. So this is the JS file that I was importing before, and now I'm just gonna remove that. And now what I have to do is, okay, before that I'm just gonna show you what my git log looks like. So I have a sort alias for git log is gl. So this is my git log. So I just committed this thing, use JSON instead of JS for projects data. That's simply I just migrated all the data to the JSON. Before this commit, there is another commit that can say I try to change the projects data to JSON. So that was a try, but the status was negative. I just failed on that. And before that this was also behind the recording. That's a refactor, and that's change projects data body from function to JSX expression that I just explained a bit ago. This commit changes the body prop of projects data to JSX expression rather than of a function. This will ease out passing data through JSON. So that was all the reason, that was all the motivation behind that. And Control Z and turn it off. You can also see the git log over here. So here we have only three commits for today, where it was like many on other days. So now we have Okay, I had put two exclamation marks over here that just changed to GSS. I don't know why. I have to know that. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just change the name. I just removed that thing, and now what I'm gonna do is, first of all, I'm gonna change this name to just projects data, and now I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna rename that thing as projects data just .json. And another thing, if I don't, then it would break things up. I guess it's already broken, right? It's already broken. It's already broken. You know why? Because this when I'm importing projects data, it's importing a JavaScript file. So I'm gonna rename that. I'm not gonna delete that yet because that might be some important, because like JS to JSON conversion is like takes a little bit of time. So that's why I'm just renaming this. So this is gonna be archive now. Archive. What is archive? Archive.js. All right. So this is now archive. No imports. This is input server. No. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is, now you can see the app. Now everything is working properly. Everything is working properly. And yeah, this is also another thing that I have did. I have made this list scrollable, and I also use that custom scroll bar. So you're gonna see that over there. Make the navbar fixed, and then create custom scroll bar, and another is create project lists scrollable. So it wasn't scrollable, it was just overlaying below the section. So I have to make it overflow auto in the Y. So overflow Y auto, I made it in the CSS. You're gonna see over here this guy, overflow Y auto, and overflow X hidden. If I don't make X hidden, if I make it auto as well, then this annoying thing comes here. That's why I just made it hidden, and I don't know what this smooth thing is doing, but anyway, that's there. And this is the guy that makes everything good. And then also I have in the index CSS these 4 things which are responsible for this custom scroll bar, and this custom scroll bar is here as well. I still didn't figure out how to use separate custom scroll bars, but I'm gonna figure out that as well, but that's not needed actually. Alright, enough talking. Now let's get back to making this responsive, I guess. Alright, let's try to make it responsive now. I have no idea how I'm gonna do it. So first, let's have a thesis. I mean, by thesis, I mean let's have a plan what I'm gonna do. So why don't I just create some things inside this section first. Well, that's gonna take time, and that has another problem, that I have to make that responsive as well, but that's something that I have to do either way. I have to whatever I'm gonna make. So okay, if I come over here, if I make these things, let's say I create a HTML, or I just created a, okay, what if okay, I'm taking HTML, but what about the style? How I'm gonna take that style out? So I have to take that style as well, right? What if I just pass a style object? If I pass a style object through the JSON and use that to style this div, where's it gonna work? That's gonna be the style of this div, right? I'm gonna need style of every thing. Okay, I can use inline styling. Okay, so that's the only option I have. So I have to use inline styling, and that inline styling has to be in the JSX style, not in the HTML style. So I mean, inside that style prop I have to have a object. It's not gonna be a string. Right, that's an option, and that's a pretty good option, I guess. I love styling in I love inline styling. I'm not kidding, I really love it. Alright, okay, I'm gonna cut that, and okay, so now we can move forward to, okay, so what I was saying was whenever I create these things for any of these projects, I have to make that responsive in this JSX style. So I have to, so that's a complete separate hustle for me. So I'm not gonna touch on that right now. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna make this thing. So I assume that up to 50% of this thing. So how much is that 50% first of all? So maybe to that position. Okay, to this position. First of all, I have to check how much. So first of all, this thing is 1100 pixels, and this thing is 332. So what I'm gonna do is open up calculator just for some calculations. 1100 into, what I'm gonna do is let's get 40%, so it's gonna be 0.4, so it's 440. Is that something we have? Let's have a look. Yeah, we have 40% width, so 440 should be 440. Really? Like, it does not seem like, but yeah, it's 440. So if that's 440, that's huge, I guess. It doesn't look similar though, does it? Okay, so maybe this is smaller right now. No, it's not small. It's literally 40%, and this entire thing is 1100 pixels. Are you kidding me? Max is 1100 pixels. So if this is 1100 pixels, if I just okay, let's make that thing 1100 pixels. Yeah, that's actually 1100 pixels. That's 1100 pixels, and this thing is 40% of that entire thing. Project section, cards panel is actually 40%. If I make it 30%, then look, it just sinks down. What if I make it 100%? It just, oh, alright, what was that? So this is probably because it's a flex. Yeah. What if I make it 50%? Or something like that. Okay. I do not have to make it. Do I have to make it? Okay, it's. I don't need that calculation actually. I was just curious about it. I don't need that as well. But it's like 300. Whatever it is, I just can create and assume. So maybe, okay, maybe to that position, like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna go any further than that. 940. Okay, so we're gonna go for 900. So in 900 pixels we have to have a media query, and that media query just vanish of this section, and only this section will exist. How's about that? In 900 pixels. I think we can do that, or can we just okay, I think we can do that. Okay, right. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna create a media query, and that would be max width 900 pixels, and that's gonna have object, and what would be there? Okay, just this thing, this container, project section container. I don't need that actually. Let me see where that thing is. This is the link, and this. Okay, we do not have a class name for that yet. So what I'm gonna name this thing is projects section, project sec preview panel. I'm gonna check if I have anything else. No. Project sec preview panel. No, we're gonna have that over here. And what I'm gonna do is display hidden. So if we go to 900, okay, we still see that. Display none. Still see that. Okay, so how can we actually alright, it's actually this div that we have to right, it actually throws it off, but this thing doesn't go 100%. So what I have to right now do is we can get this bad boy. We do not have to mess with the flex thing, and that's a good thing, because that's actually in I'm using from Tailwind CSS. If I have to change that, that would be like I have to refactor that to my CSS. Alright, it gets the work done. It really gets the work done. And also now I'm gonna what if I just remove this padding right, because that's 40%, and when you go that way it's not changing. Why it's not changing, man? Because the oh, that's interesting. It's not changing. Oh, alright, because that's actually ending over here. That text is actually ending over here. And if you go forward than that, it actually has that padding. So this is the padding. So the padding isn't a problem at all right now. Okay. What if we just do it not in 900 but in 800? That can, okay, let's have a look how it looks like in 800. We can change it later as well. Okay, we made it 800. So now we have this thing, If we go forward, now this thing goes off and we do not see that again. But well, wait, what if we give a button over here and that would show that panel again, and you hide this thing, and if user clicks on this card, then it will take them to another thing. Or okay, I think we can have completely a different thing here other than this. That's another possibility, but that's gonna load up the app so much. I don't want to make the app so much busy, I mean so much heavy. What can we do? Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, we can definitely create a button. Now we have to disable this thing, or we have to change that on click function to actually navigate to that thing. We have to do something, and that gonna involve JavaScript. Right, so and also the active thing, that this thing not gonna be there, maybe. Or can we just because most devices most devices with this width gonna be vertical. Okay, now that's not true actually. With this with most devices gonna be tablet, so the height gonna be as well like low, so height gonna be somewhere here. So I think we can add another button over here. That would be like, if user presses on that, that would open up the panel, this panel. That's actually hard to make. And why do we need that panel in the first place? Because if a user clicks on that, that will take them to the projects page, and that projects page will also contain that thing. Why not do that? So let's just do this thing, like let's remove this active project thing, and let's give it a button. I mean not button, but one click to take to another page or something. Or we can add a button over here. That would be more work. I would just do like directly redirecting if clicked. Right, let's do that. So we got okay, so this is the entire thing. This is the entire thing that's not being displayed right now. Okay, that's good. And this is the thing that's getting displayed. So what we're gonna do right now is, there's a one-click function where here there is a one-click function, set active project to this, and there's a background color. If active project is then this and this, and window dot width, I guess. Okay, window dot width is not equal to, but equal to or greater than, okay, greater than or equal to this is gonna be a string, I guess, 800 pixel, then do this. Okay, got it. No, we didn't. We didn't got it. Window dot width. Okay, let's cancel out window dot width for a second. Console dot log. I'm a pretty slow coder, I guess. Undefined. So how to get width? Window dot screen dot width. Let's have it. Let's try that. Now we got it. Oh no, we got this. But wait, that would actually work, I guess, but not in the console thing. But okay, but we have to. Now let's have a look. We can get 1920. How can you get the screen size when the window is like that small or something? That's scary. Like, this was the reason why Tor browser did not start full screen, but now like you can get the screen width even if the window is not full screen. You can get the width, full width. What the hell? Okay, avail screen width, window outer width, window inner width, window inner width, e. Okay. This is the outer side, which I don't need. This is the inner width, window inner width that I want. Okay. Window inner width. Okay, so just window inner width, right? Nothing, just window inner width. No, what was that? Window inner width. Okay, window dot inner width dot inner width. Now we got it. Oh, non changes of width, we do not get anything. That's, I guess that's not gonna be a problem, because just gonna work on how. Okay, let's try that. Window dot inner width. So if window dot inner width is greater than or equal to 800 pixel, okay, that's actually giving us a number, so I make that. Okay, now we got it. Now we also got it because it's not loading up, right? So we have to give a event listener, and eventually we gonna have to store that in state. if you store that in state, that's gonna make the app very inefficient because the state gonna change so many times. Resize event. Now we can use this thing, add event listener, resize. If resize, then this function gonna be called, and what is true? What's this? Okay, first, second, and third. What's the third argument? What is the third parameter in event listener? Okay, the third parameter in our event listener method specifies whether the registered event handler captures the specified event or not. If event handler captures an event, then every time an event occurs on the record. Add event listener. So should I add event listener over here? Okay, here or somewhere else. Let's call another state that's gonna be what should I name it? Let's make it small screen. Set small screen. Naming is very bad. Make is small screen. Set is small screen. Use state by default. It's gonna be false. And now we gonna have a window dot add event listener that gonna have first argument as a string, and that gonna be resize. Second gonna be a function, and that function would be if window dot inner width is greater than or equal to 800, then set is small will be true, and else if window dot inner width is, I guess I put it wrong. If it's greater than 800, then it should remain false, and if it's less than 800, then it should remain true. 800, then set is small screen to true. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, okay, is small screen, so, and oh everything is alright actually. Is small screen. Now it should work. Oh, it works differently. Okay, there's something I just, okay, logically I got is small screen. If it's the inner width is less than 800, then is small screen is true, and if it's greater than 800, window inner width is greater than 800, then is small screen is false. What's now? It's greater than 800, right? It's greater than 800, so if it's greater than 800, okay, if it's true here, so it's gonna be, if it's not true, yeah, now we got it. But it actually have it's again and again, like, it's cancelling out everything, because we have like a, so is okay, let's have a look if the component is getting rendered every time I change the width. So I'm gonna put a high, so we get the high, and okay, we're getting high again and again. So okay, so again and again this thing is, okay, again and again this thing is updating this state. That's a problem. Or what if we can put that thing here? I think it's not a problem at all if our state just reloads many times. Oh, it's actually a problem. You see, it's shaking out. Oh my god. Oh, it looks pretty bad. We have to change that. We can use maybe a alright, we turn off that, so that, okay, now we are not, now we're having it. Why you are making it? Okay, we have to put a true in here, right? Still it's happening. Still it's happening. Just because, okay, so just because we have a resize thing, maybe that's why it's changing, maybe. Yeah, so just because we have a event listener, this thing is happening. this is getting tough. How can I? So whatever I'm doing, I have to do that, but I have to stop rendering this thing multiple times. It's just rendering like rocket. I don't know what kind of we can stop using the states, but it's still gonna be this thing, like we are using the what the hell. How is that working? Alright, it's not working. No. Okay. So okay, so it's all for the states. What if you have to use the state? There's no option. Let's use only this. Now what about it? Okay, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. And as we go to 800, we got it. Right? We got it, and this actually gone. But when you back to more than 800, we still have that. Okay, I guess there was a glitch of re-rendering, but if I reload that, it's not gonna have so many reloads. Yeah, it doesn't have so many reloads. There was something that was happening, maybe for any glitch. So I was suffering mentally for a glitch till now. Oh my goodness. As I can see right now, like, it's not a problem at all. It's not a problem at all right now. Come on. You can see the console logs, okay? See, when we just cross the border, we get two console logs actually, like it's rendering 2 times, and we go back again, it again renders 2 times, which is expected, right? Alright, so I'm gonna just delete these console logs for now. My accent's changing. And now everything's end not is small screen. If that's the case, then do not show that thing. And in the on click also, I'm gonna put a function. I'm gonna define the function over here, and that would be const. What's that gonna be? That's gonna be projects card. Okay, handle projects card click. That's a function with no parameters, and I gonna have some ternary expressions over here. So if is a small screen is true, so if it's a small screen, then we got some so we're gonna go to external page. Okay, else if is small screen is not true, then we're gonna have this thing. I could have just typed that in, but I don't know why I'm just copy pasting stuff, because that's fun, right? Handle projects, handle projects card click, and we got I. Okay, so we actually have to send that thing. Okay, so the function is not gonna be without parameter. It's gonna have a parameter of I, and we are having that parameter here. So we're receiving the index or project index, now let's okay, so I'm gonna show you that this is working. I'm gonna reload that, and it's working properly. But when this thing happens, it doesn't work because we do not have any code right now. We just have a comment. So I'm gonna check that thing. Okay, so I used a link actually. That's linked to this thing. Or if I just go to the, okay, what just happened? Okay, or if I just go to the link component and see what I did. Okay. Navigate path. I can use that code inside this, but that would make it so much bulky, I guess. So I just want to do something else. And something else what? That's the question. Okay, one thing is that I can again use that dangerously set inner HTML and wrap that thing on it, but I think because we're changing the active page, so we have to also dispatch this thing. Then also, like, whenever the link is, it's also like, and it also sends off these things, so that's another point. What if I just I just call this function instead of considering it as a component? If I just call that function with it receives props, right? Okay, the first one being prop, maybe second or third thing can be some other things. Secondary path, and there's 2 children and rest, but all these are props. Can I just like, I cannot call this thing right over here. That's illegal actually. I have to call that and then click that. What if I make a function? Okay, what if I just make a link function? This is link.js, and that's a component, right? So what if I just make a hook? Let's make a hook. Use link.js. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, first of all, copy everything here, and I'm going to save this thing as well. Okay, we got everything. Now I'm going to change that prop to, now it's not a prop, it's a function. Alright, it's a function, and it's not gonna return anything. It's not gonna return anything. Alright, we're not gonna export link, export default link. Yeah, we're gonna export link definitely, but children, there will be not children, there will be no rest, just 2 and secondary path. So we're gonna use dispatch. Okay, we do not need to React as well here. Okay, so it's gonna be dispatch. This whatever thing, there's event listener, and this return to use effect function to remove event listener, and then this navigate function that would be path, that will use path. Wait, okay, we were actually calling it a handle click function, right? That handle click function has to be called with event, and these things what if we just return the navigate thing? No, just the handle click function is actually gonna be where this hook gonna be used. So you do not need the handle click, and there is an event.prevent default which gonna be there as well. And then secondary, if there is secondary path, then navigate to secondary path, and if there is no secondary path, then navigate to 2, and when it scroll up to this position. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to copy these things. If control command key is there, then just return. Actually, this is not going to be returning because there will be some different function, and I'll be explaining that in a moment. But we do not have an event. On click, you have to like give me an event. Okay, just get that event and pass that event as a second prop maybe, and we can get that here. Okay, got that. I got the event. Now I'm gonna get this here. Now this is gonna stay here. Now I'm gonna get this thing. Alright, now here's the part. If there is a secondary path, then navigate to secondary path or navigate to 2. So we're gonna have a first argument and a second argument. So this is all. Use link, and use link have to be called with possibly two parameters, and those two parameters would be, first of all, first is the path and second is the secondary path. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to go and here I'm going to use, okay, I can just come over here, we're going to scroll to this position. Okay, here use use link. We're not getting that. Okay, I think oh, alright, so we have to change that name as well. Use link, use link, and we have to change that name as well to use dash link. And now what I'm gonna do is use link to a path. What's the first argument? It's gonna be a string, I know. Why is this red thing? It has use. We can change use link to use this link, and yes, and done, and there's a path actually. We got a path name, projects data, active project, and this path name. Why active project? We're not gonna get active project, we're gonna get project index. So put that in active project. Ooh, this thing not gonna have this thing, and this active project gonna be project index, and use link is actually not working here. Const use link is equal to use link. Is that working? Invalid hook call. It's not working. The hook is broken. We probably have to import this as a function and not like a hook, something like that. There's some mistake. What if we just send this as a named board or something? Okay. Link, use link. React hook use link is called in function and project card click. That is neither a React function component nor a custom hook function. React component names must start with an uppercase letter. So you actually have to call it outside this. I'm gonna work on that later, I guess. That's it for it. I'm just tired. Alright, so as I just had turned off the recording, I just found a solution of the problem that we gone into. So this is nothing, just I just returned the function. So instead of calling that function here and taking any kind of parameters in the hook itself, what he rather did is this code gonna be executed at the first whenever that hook gonna be called in inside any component, and then in this hook we're just returning this function that eventually is called to navigate. So this function over here, right here, you can see that it receives one parameter, and that is path. And if there's any secondary path or something like that, we can just put that in the component itself. So here's the component project section. So here at the top, I just declared this thing const navigate, and that's use link. So I can name it anything, and that would be just this function. So we're using that function over here, so I just called it that's navigate to just make it more sounding reasonable. So here in the bottom, it's just basically same, nothing changed, just this name has changed. So previously we were using that hook here, the hook name, that's use link, but now we're just using that function that we got as a return from that hook. So now what we have is here navigate, and then we have this expression which takes out the path name from the project's data, and that from project's data, the particular object that is active right now, not active, but project index, so like whichever card is being clicked. So it's taking out that path name from JSON, and then it's just passing through this navigate function into eventually to use link hook, and then the thing gonna be called, and everything's working properly. Actually, another thing that I just updated is that the default value of that is small screen state. It was default false. Let me just show you what the issue was. If we make it default false, then it's gonna be like it already has this thing, because the active project index is always 0, so it's already there. But you can see that the width is less than 800 pixels, and the panel is not visible. Panel is already gone, but because in the initial load up this is small screen is false, so the here add event listener, that's not, that function didn't even execute it at the first place, so just by default it has this thing. So if you just resize the app, even if just 1 pixel, now that's gone. But that's not what we want. We want from the beginning to detect what's the size or the width of the page, and according to that do that thing. So that's why I just added this expression, that's window.inner width. If less than 800, then return true, otherwise return false. And then we have this thing that we have already covered, and then we have this handle click button, so we can remove that comment. And now if we have event.control key or meta key, then just return, so there will be nothing. So just let me show you one thing. If I click on any of these, the URL bar should change to that thing, slash projects and then slash this name. So if I just click on delta, it just alright, okay, we got a typo here. So to navigate, I actually have to do, okay, let me just put backtick, and then this curly brace and a $sign, and before that what you're gonna have is slash projects and then slash and then this thing. So this is gonna be the thing. Okay, we had a typo here. Now if I reload and go back and reload, and if I just click on that, it's slash projects slash this project username kind of thing, project name kind of thing. Okay, if I go back, now everything is right here. If I press control and click, so I'm pressing control, if I click, it didn't work. If I press Windows and click, it didn't work. If I press Alt and click, it worked. Okay, so now what I have to do is if someone is pressing control or something like that, then it has to open in other in any other of, like, in a new tab, right? So let me just comment out this thing, and let's have a look if that thing by default works or not. If I press control and click, okay, it didn't work. If I press the middle button of the mouse, it didn't work, because we are preventing default. So if you do that, then we can directly navigate, maybe. Okay, so just copy that, and we can maybe directly navigate. Okay, we're directly navigating right now. So if I just press control and click, okay, we're just going there, but it's not being in a new tab. So we have to somehow manage to do that. Okay, let's have a look here, because we are just yeah, changing here everything. Where is the on click actually called? Here, this div. We can put anchor tag before that, and what if in the href we see if is small this or that, this kind of thing, probably. or we can just specify this on click function on the anchor tag. Or maybe we can just directly navigate, like how to navigate to a page in JavaScript. Let's have a look. Video.location.href. Let's use that thing. Let's try that thing out. So we're not gonna have this, but we're gonna eventually have this. Okay, it's gonna be equal to, not function. Okay, and this gonna be out. Now let's have a look. I hit a reload, and now control click. It just goes to that page, but not in a new. Okay, window.location. Okay, window.location replace orcs, but how to navigate to a page in a new tab in JavaScript. To open your in a new tab or window in JavaScript, we use window.open and URL comma target method, URL comma target window.open. Let's use window.open, but before that, okay, I'm gonna have the window.open, and we got the URL over here, and target, what that thing is actually. Okay, let's just, okay, now it works. It actually works. If I press the middle button of the mouse, it didn't work. That's a problem. How to fix that? I don't know how to fix that. Come on. And I have seen many websites where it does not work. I don't know how to do that. So window.open to this. I can eventually do that by adding that anchor tag, but that would be so complicated for this code. So it's window.open. That time it's pretty good, I guess. I guess this works. This gets the job done actually. So I'm gonna leave it here. Probably we can add that anchor tag later on, but it's perfectly fine right now. So I guess we have done a lot of things, and now we have to commit that to GitHub. Okay, let's go. Let's have a look what we had before. So we had use JSON instead of JS for projects data. So what did we do right now is, first of all, we hide the preview panel. We actually made it completely responsive, right? Yeah, I actually made it responsive. So it's actually a feature, it's not style only, because we added many things, so it's a feature. So GAA GCM feature landing / projects, and now I'm gonna say create functionalities for making project sec what the term called responsive. This commit makes the projects section in the landing page responsive. In addition to that, this commit also creates functionality to hide the preview panel when the when the tab, when the website width goes to less than 800 pixel. This commit also changes the behavior of the project's cards in projects. That thing is called projects container in here. That thing is called projects sec, not sex. Okay, projects sec cards panel. In projects sec cards panel. Okay, be aware of the projects card in projects sec card panel. To navigate to the projects, to the particular projects page, rather than changing the active project piece of state. In conclusion, the active project state is of no use when the screen size is less than 800 pixels. And that's it. Let's push it up. Right. And if you wonder what's that JAW, that's actually my alias to git push origin master, git push origin. So JAW is a Bengali word. JAW means just go. So whenever I say JAW, it just pushes into GitHub. Pushes it to GitHub, whatever. Okay. So that's it. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Okay. Terminal is stopped. Okay. Everything is pretty good. Okay, let's have a look over here. Okay. We're actually doing the 29th July right now. It's midnight. I just didn't looked at the clock. Right, anyways. Now I'm just gonna go set the computer up and call my girlfriend because she's waiting for me. Alright, bye bye. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.